4 high schools, 7 middle schools, 1 college, and a university, and much more. Now introducing your most comprehensive weekly local sports show in Madison County, the Richmond Register Sports Show. The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by Metronet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Central Kentucky Pressure Washing, Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote. And by MEL'S BARBER SHOP, established 2019. Walk-ins welcome. Visit them 102 St. George Street in Richmond. And by kymedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms. Here's your host for all things local sports, the Richmond Register sports editor, Nathan Hutchison.
Welcome to this week's edition of the Richmond Register Sports Show. My name is Nathan Hutchinson. I'm the sports editor of the Richmond Register, and we appreciate you checking us out this week. Coming up in just a few minutes, we have 3 special guests this week. We're going to start off with Madison Central softball coach Randy Hall. The Lady Indians are just back from an undefeated spring break trip through Florida. And then after that, we're going to have Madison Central assistant baseball coach David Withers and, of course, senior Matt Johns here as well to talk about the Madison Central baseball team's very successful trip to Florida. They went 3-1 down in Fort Walton. So we'll get an update on both the Central baseball and softball teams here in just a few minutes. But as always, we like to start off the show the way we always start off the show, with a recap of the week that was in Madison County sports. And once again, kind of a light week around the county. We had some weather issues, obviously. We had some schools on spring break as well. And also we have, of course, some field issues around the county with construction on the dugouts at Madison Central and Madison Southern. But we do have some stuff to tell you about. And we will start off with the Madison Central softball team, 5-0 on a spring break trip to Florida. Pushes their winning streak to 6 games overall. They are now 8-1 on the season. Last Saturday, they opened up their trip with an 8-7 win over a really good Central Hardin team. Then on Monday, a 9-4 win over Apollo. And then on Tuesday, an 8-7 win over Franklin Simpson. And then a pair of wins on Thursday to wrap up the trip, 13-5 over Ohio County and 8-0 over Barron County. 5 games down in Florida, they outscored their opponents 46-23 and collected 51 total hits. In the win over Central Hardin, it was Jasmine Kaler with a pair of RBIs. In the win over Apollo, it was Michaela Morin, 3 for 4, 2 RBIs, a triple, and Olivia Metcalf, 2 for 3 with a run scored and an RBI. In the win over Franklin Simpson, it was Jasmine Kaler, 2 for 4 with a double and 2 RBIs, and Natalie Eisen with 3 RBIs. In the win over Ohio County, it was Brooklyn Gilbalt and Michaela Morin with home runs. And in the win over Barron County, it was Olivia Metcalf, 2 for 2 with an RBI and a run scored. Lady Indians will be back in action Tuesday at Lincoln County. In other softball news around the county last week, Madison Southern had just 1 game, and that was on Monday over at Lafayette. They suffered a 15-0 loss and were not able to collect a hit in that game. So the Lady Eagles fall to 1-6 on the season, and they are supposed to be back in action Monday versus North Laurel in what is listed as a home game, but from what I understand is a game that will be played over at the EKU Intramural Fields where Model plays its home games. So we'll keep you updated as to the location of where that one will be. Model and Berea did not play this week leading up until today. They were both in action today, Sunday, in the All-A Classic down at Berea Community Park. These games took place after we started filming this, so we don't have any updates for you on that. It was supposed to be Frankfort and Model at 2 p.m. and Model and Frankfort and Berea at 2 p.m. and Model and LCA at 4 p.m. We'll give you an update on those games in the morning on our daily sports, Madison County sports update that we do through Madison County Live. But Model is 3-4 on the season, and Berea Community had not played a game until today. They were 0-0 on the season. But those 2 teams playing in the 11th Region All-A semifinals today, and one of those, perhaps both of those teams will move on to the final if they pick up a victory. High school baseball action, we mentioned it at the top of the show. Madison Central goes to 10-4 by winning 3 of the 4 games they had down in Florida. They did have 1 rain out, unfortunately, but the Indians opened the trip with a 7-6 victory over Male on Sunday. Then on Monday, a 15-2 win over DuPont Manual. On Wednesday, it was an 8-2 loss to Choctaw, a team out of Fort Walton Beach. And then on Thursday, they wrapped things up with a very impressive 14-0 5-inning win over Rivas, Illinois. In the win over DuPont Manual, it was Keith Stewart with a home run, and Bradley Pointer was 4 for 4 with 3 RBIs. In the loss to Choctaw, Madison Central had a 2-0 lead. but the Indians rallied late to storm back and take the lead and pick up the victory. Gunnar Rodas and Bryson Howell had 2 hits each in that game. And in the win over Rivas in the finale of the trip, it was Hayden Robbins 3 for 3 with a double, a triple, 3 RBIs, and also scored twice. And it was Eli Simmons with a double and 2 RBIs. Indians now 14-10 on the season, back in action Tuesday up at 11th region rival Tate's Creek. Madison's Southern baseball team had just a pair of games last week. On Monday, a 10-2 loss at Walton Verona, and bounced back on Friday with a 7-4 win over Montgomery County in a game that was played over at George Rogers Clark High School. In the loss to Walton Verona, it was Caleb Cobb with a home run, and Mason Himes and Zach Hudson with 2 hits each. And then in the victory over Montgomery County, it was Tristan Ingram and Corey Causey with 3 hits each, and Hayden Kane with a pair of RBIs. 5-6 on the season now for the Eagles. They'll be back in action Monday at Frederick Douglass. In other high school baseball news, it was Model picking up its first victory of the season. That was on Friday, a 13-8 win over Frankfort Christian in the first round of the 11th Region All-A. That game was played up in Frankfort. It was Becker Parker Noblet 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs, Connor Sayer 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs, and Eli Estes 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs. And the win by Model set up a showdown with Berea in the semifinals of the 11th Region All-A Classic. That game is going on as we speak right now up in Lexington, so I don't have any update for you on that one right now. But once again, check our morning updates on Madison County Live and across all of our social media sites, and we'll tell you who won that one. And the winner of that one will move on to the final, which is scheduled for Monday up at Sayre. And up until that time, Berea Community did not play a game this week. They were 3-3 on the season. They haven't played a game since March 28th, so they'll be back in action earlier today for the first time in a little bit over a week. So, as always, we'll keep you updated on all that stuff on social media. High school tennis, just one match this last week involving Madison County schools. On Thursday, it was Lexington Catholic picking up a sweep of Model over at EKU in both the girls and boys matches. It was the Catholic picking up 3-2 victories. In the girls match for Model, it was Claire Blue picking up a victory, while the doubles team of Bella Sinker and Kate Conley also earned a victory. And for the boys, it was 2 doubles victories, Aiden Blackman and Colin Lair, and Logan Blakeman and Jacob Gordon also picking up victories. Model will be back in action Tuesday at home against Franklin County. And in some high school swimming news, a Model senior Olivia Stotz signed a national letter of intent to join the swim team at Butler University on Thursday. She is the second Division I swimmer that Model has had this year, along with Victoria Taylor, who's heading to Texas A&M. Olivia had a great high school career, 9-time region champ, 7 individual region championships, and 2 relay championships as well, and also had some top 10 finishes at the state. And we were there for her signing on Thursday, and here's what she had to say.
So, thank you all for being here. It means a lot. I'm just going to go through a list of people that I need to thank. First, thank you to my friends for being here for me. I definitely would have lost my mind without you all. You're a great distraction from swimming, which is what I need sometimes. Thank you to my family for everything that you've done for me. The countless amounts of practices and meets that you've taken me to practice at 6 o'clock in the morning when nobody wanted to be up, including me. So thank you for that. My teammates, you all mean so much to me, and you all push me to do better at practice. I actually would have lost my mind without you all, because sometimes you just want to give up, and you all make me not want to do that. Kevin, I can't really, there's nothing that I could say to thank you for everything that you've done for me. You are genuinely the best. Okay. You're genuinely the best coach that I've ever had, and I can never repay you for everything that you've given me. So thank you for that. And thank you to Coach Mo and Coach Ryan for giving me the opportunity to compete in college. It's something that I've wanted to do ever since I started swimming at 4 or 5 years old. So to be able to do it at such a high level is such an amazing opportunity that I'm going to be forever grateful for. So yeah, thank you all for coming.
Congratulations to Olivia, and we appreciate her inviting us out to her signing ceremony. And so, also had some archery news to report. The KHSA Region 8 championships were held on Saturday up at Lexington Christian Academy. And in the girls' competition, it was Madison Central taking the region championship. And get this, folks, beating out Model Lab by 1 point for the championship. Madison Central 1966, Model Lab 1965. So by the slimmest of margins, Lady Indians pick up a region title. It was Model's Rebecca Smith shooting a .289, which was the second best score of any girl in the field. And it was Madison Central's Neely Gannon with a .287, which was the fifth best score among any girl in the competition. And on the boys' side, Model Lab finished third. Madison Southern was sixth, and Madison Central was seventh. Individually, Central's Luke Hubb shot a .288, which was the third best score of any boy in the competition. And Madison Southern's Samuel Lamb shot a .284, which was the eighth best of anybody in the competition. So that's all we got for you this week. But coming up here in just a minute, we'll have Madison Central softball coach Randy Hall.
The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by Metronet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Central Kentucky Pressure Washing, Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote. And by MEL'S BARBER SHOP, established 2019. Walk-ins welcome. Visit them 102 St. George Street in Richmond. And by kymedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms.
All right, welcome back. We are joined by Madison Central softball coach Randy Hall. Thanks for being here, Coach.
Thanks for having me.
All right, well, it's a great trip to Florida, undefeated, 5-0 down there, 8-1 on the season, 6 straight wins. You got to feel pretty good about how the early season's gone so far for your young ladies.
We've had a pretty good start. You know, this is the first part of the season, but you know, we're coming together as a team, I believe, and I think the trip to Florida has really helped that. You know, sometimes you take those trips and, you know, they can be team killers or, you know, it can be kind of rough when you get down there and try to get people to get focused on playing softball when you're in that environment, especially coming from Kentucky and the way our weather has been. Yeah. It was definitely nice to get down there to play some games.
Yeah, well, I mean, shouldn't be, I guess, too much of a surprise your guys' success. I mean, you had a lot of players back from a really good team last year. I know it's your first year as the head coach, but I'm sure they lived up to your expectations, maybe even exceeded them so far.
They really have. I mean, this senior bunch has really stepped up to become leaders and take ownership of the team, and I think that has really helped with this team. And they did have a lot of success last year. They, you know, won 22 games, so. But we did lose some key players from last year, and some decided not to come back and that sort of thing. So you're going to have some attrition with that. But we've been pleased with the older players and some of the younger ones that have stepped up too. Yeah,
you go down to Florida in the first game. You play a really good Central Hardin team that I think hadn't lost yet. I don't think.
No, I don't believe they had. They are a good team, and both teams kind of struggled, had a lot of errors, but. The way the wind was blowing, a lot of pop flies in the high sky, and this, you know, being able to see the ball, each team kind of struggled a little bit, but we were fortunate to come away with a victory in that one.
Yeah, I mean that's a ranked team, so that had to be a good momentum boost to start the tournament with down there.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I believe it was. They, from my understanding, the last time the girls went down there and played Central Hardin, Central Hardin had beaten us, so I think they really wanted to get them back.
Yeah,
but that had been a few years ago.
They still remember, though. They always remember. Also, just offensively, you guys have been just pounding the ball all over the place. I think I got you with a .339 batting average as a team. You have 7 home runs by 7 different players, including I think you had a freshman hit one the other day. So it's your lineup is really clicking. Yes,
you know, any of the girls in our lineup have a potential to hit it over the fence, and you know that's nice to have. Obviously, we strive to hit the line drives and play a little small ball from time to time, but it is nice to have that, you know, big shot that really gets the team, you know, the momentum behind them and get the excitement in there. So we've got a lot of strong hitters on our team.
Yeah, and of course it all starts at the top. What a great year Michaela Morin's having, 433, already scored 15 runs. 4 doubles, 2 triples, a home run, and she's the leadoff hitter, and it kind of all runs through her.
That's right. You know, it's real nice to have Michaela get us going when we need it, especially early in the games or whenever she does come up. She's going to be a spark, and she's going to find a way to get on base, and that really helps.
Yeah, and you go down through there. I mean, Hannah Eisen at 387, her sister Natalie at 321. And I love having Natalie at the bottom of the lineup, right? The 9-hole.
Yes.
It's like having a second leadoff.
It is. Exactly. As I try to stress to the girls that it's not. It's only an order, and don't think of it as a lineup because every inning, you could be the leadoff, or it doesn't matter where you are. Just remember who you bat after it. And I really like having somebody at the bottom that can get us back around like that.
Yeah, but you go down. I mean, Haley Sebastian at 370, Cassidy Hack at 343, Olivia Metcalf at 333. I mean, the hits go on and on there. It's great.
It is
balance there.
I've kind of had to jostle the lineup, several times, just trying to find out who's hot and try to keep the ones who are hitting the best, kind of keeping them stacked together so we can get some runs in.
Yeah, and on the pitching side, you have 3 kids that you use. Obviously, Jasmine, probably the most experienced coming back, but you do put Cassidy Gentry in there and also Andrea Linton. So, kind of what's your philosophy on using that? Because right now Jasmine gets most of the work, but you want to work all 3 of them in there.
Right. We do want to work all 3 because they're all good enough, and if they weren't at our school, they would probably be number 1 pitchers in another school. We're happy to have them. We want to get them all reps and also keep Jasmine rested when we can as well, because it's a long season. It's not just 1 or 2 games. It's we want to get better as we go, and we want each player to get enough reps so they can get stronger as we go.
Yeah. Jasmine finished out the trip with a 5-inning shutout earlier this week, and so she's pitching really well. Kind of compare and contrast those 3 young ladies' styles.
Jasmine keeps the ball low. Seems like for the most part. She's one that has a little bit more speed than the others, but the others are really close there too. You've got Cassie Gentry that spins the ball a lot and typically hits her spots, and Andrea Linton has really come on with doing both the speed and with hitting her spots as well. She just hasn't got as many opportunities as the other 2 yet, but she's getting a lot of reps in our JV, and so is Cassie Gentry as well. So we're rotating them in there whenever they're not pitching varsity.
Okay. All right. Well, moving forward, it's been an unusual season with nobody seeming to have the home fields to play on. But we were just talking kind of off camera here. You're hoping to have home games on Saturday. Fingers crossed, I guess.
Yes, I believe we are going to have some home games starting on Saturday. It has been a little bit of a challenge, I think, defensively. The first of the year we were fortunate enough to be able to practice on Caudle's field, so we could be on some dirt. But here lately, we've just been on turf there at the football field, and it makes it a little bit hard when you see the girls out there and we're playing on dirt and the ball's going under their glove because they think it's going to pop up. They're used to the turf, so that's been a little bit of a challenge. But the girls are just trying to persevere through that.
Yeah, I mean, it's been tough on everybody, especially, the senior group, the same kids that didn't get to play at all 2 years ago. So it's another blow to those kids.
Yeah, it is. I think they were pretty disappointed in the beginning to hear that we might not get to have any home games this season. But I believe the board has worked hard on trying to get us some games in, and it's not going to be finished the way they want it done, but just to give us some opportunity to give those young ladies some home games. I think it'll also help out the parents with having to travel all the time with the way the gas prices are and all that.
Yeah, and it hurts. I was talking to a buddy of mine whose kid plays JV2 at Central Baseball, and it's like even down to that level. I mean, he said I have to drive to Louisville. My kid takes the bus to Louisville, then I have to drive to go pick him up. He's a pitcher only, so he didn't even pitch in that game. So I have to drive all the way to Louisville, drive my kid home. And so it's not just obviously the varsity, but the JV, the JV2, and everything, and it creates lots of logistical issues.
It does, and we tend to forget that these are student athletes, and they have to find time to do their classwork, and that makes it tough when you're always playing away games. But hopefully that's going to be changing.
Yeah, you don't want them getting home midnight on a school
night.
Driving back from Louisville or Owensboro or somewhere. So. All right, well, Tuesday you guys are at Lincoln County, then Thursday at North Laurel, and then Friday at Pendleton County, and then hopefully a triangle on Saturday. And who are the teams you're bringing in Saturday?
We have South Oldham that's coming in, and Ryle.
Okay.
Those are the two other teams.
Okay. All right. Well, cross your fingers there. Well, congratulations on all your success so far. Like I said, 8-1, 6 straight wins. So best of luck to you guys going forward.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in. We'll be right back with the Madison Central baseball team.
The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by Metronet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Central Kentucky Pressure Washing, Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote. And by MEL'S BARBER SHOP, established 2019. Walk-ins welcome. Visit them 102 St. George Street in Richmond. And by kymedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms.
All right, welcome back. We are joined by Madison Central assistant baseball coach David Withers and senior Matt Johns. Thanks so much for being here, guys.
You're welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Fresh back from Florida, and you come back and it's snowing. What the heck, man?
Wow. Yeah, every year we have teachers at school, you're going to Florida, it's a vacation, which I've got to correct them on that.
Yeah.
But the weather is something I always look forward to, and we had great weather minus a day of rain, and then when you come back and we've got snow, sleet, and no telling what else is going to throw at us.
Yeah. Well, how many years have you guys go pretty much every year? Of course, you didn't go in 2020 with COVID, but how many years in a row have you guys gone down there besides 2020?
We have gone basically every year. I'm trying to think back to maybe 05 up until COVID. I think the first couple of years, because this is my 22nd year. I think in the early teen or the early 2000s, there was a year or two we didn't go, but we've been fortunate to have a group of parents that fundraise and help us get down there. So it's an annual trip, thank goodness.
Yeah, and it's certainly a very involved thing. I mean, this year you took the JV and the JV2, so taking all those kids to Florida with all their families. These games are being played at multiple sites around Fort Walton. They're not all in Fort Walton. They're kind of all over the place. So keeping track of all that, and it's got to be fun, but it's also a lot of work, I'm sure.
It is. Coach Roof, he will map out. At 9 o'clock we may have a JV game at Crestview. Then at 12 o'clock there's a varsity JV2 game maybe at Niceville, Florida, or maybe one in the evening that's at Fort Walton. So there's about 5 different locations we play, and it does throw a lot of logistics at you. But fortunately, we haven't messed one up yet, thank goodness.
Yeah. How many trips was that for you, Matt?
Two to Florida and 1 to Bowling Green last year.
Okay. Yeah. Because so what's been your favorite memories from those trips up and down to Florida?
Well, I was going to say the bus ride, but there was no sleep this year because Bryson decided he wanted to play music the whole time. And I mean the whole time. But no, I think it's fun just sitting in the room, just hanging out with some of the teammates you don't really get to hang out with, or you don't really hang out with here. Mm-hmm. So it's just fun getting to know their personalities more.
Yeah, and these guys try to make it fun. The coaches do. You guys stop usually and either watch a college game or a pro game or something. Where'd you guys stop at this year?
I went to the UAB and Marshall game for 3 innings?
Yeah, we got about 3 innings of UAB Marshall. Eastern was down the road, but they were playing at 6 o'clock at night, so we couldn't line that up. So we always keep it quiet. We don't let them know. In previous years, we've gone to Auburn, we've gone to Alabama, and this year was UAB, and it was a good stop. I hadn't seen that campus myself personally, and nice campus, nice facility, and anytime you can see free baseball, it's well worth it.
Did you guys go to a Braves game one year or something? Stop in Atlanta?
We came back. We stopped at Atlanta. That's been about 12 years ago that we stopped there, and I still remember that event. That was pretty cool. And we had talked about it. The coaches coming back, that opening night was Thursday night, but to get a bus in that crowd, the reigning World Series champs, and it sold out. We said we'll just drive through.
As a Reds fan, you wanted to be there too, right?
Exactly. And hey, that might be one of the few wins they could get this year. So I didn't get to witness it.
1-0.
That's right.
And you hung around for a while. You played some golf. Stayed down there a couple extra days.
I attempted to play golf. Didn't really.
You played, maybe not very well. But.
Yeah, nobody played well in my group. No.
Did a bunch of other guys stay with you, or just families, or who all stayed back behind?
Me and my family stayed back behind, and then I think nobody rode back on the bus, did they?
No, not a single player.
So yeah, the whole team was there. We all just hung out on the beach. Got real burnt the first day, really bad.
Yeah. Well, that's why you guys go down there and play. You start off on Sunday and you kind of get them over with, and then then you got that the rest of the days are free if the families want to stay behind.
Yes, sir. And this year was a little bit different. Coach Roop will request what teams to play and the times, and we usually play on that Sunday at 6 o'clock. Well, this year it was Sunday at 12 o'clock, and it was Louisville Male, and so it was kind of a double wake-up call for the simple fact that it's a quick turnaround time-wise, and then you've got a pretty strong opponent, and ended up taking us 8 innings, but we got the win. But that was a lot for the first day there, and especially when you're used to kind of easing your way into a ball game at 6 versus 12, and to say the least, we didn't necessarily have jet lag. I guess we'd call it bus lag. I think that had an effect on us for just a little bit that day.
Yeah, and some of those trips where you have those daggone 9 and 10 a.m. games, man. That's sometimes 11, but those can't be fun.
No, that 9 a.m. game was. All I know is I woke up to Roof barging in our room and jumping on me, saying, "Get up, honey!" Yeah, so I mean, he woke us up, got us up, and I mean, it was pretty obvious that we were the more awake team that game. We jumped up on 8-0 in the first.
Yes.
We got it over in 5 innings, so it was quick, right? So you got out of there.
Quick and got to the beach.
Yeah. Well, you guys got to the region final last year. You graduated 12 kids, 6 of which went on to play in college. There were a lot of question marks I think a lot of people had because a lot of younger guys were going to have to come into the lineup. But here you guys are 10-4. Obviously, once again, making a statement as one of the better teams in the 11th region. And so you got some veteran guys like Matt and Hayden and Matthew, and but a lot of younger kids have stepped up too. So I guess it's just a testament to the way you guys have built your program that you have kids that are just ready to step right in and do their thing.
Well, appreciate that. We definitely, if you look on a piece of paper, what we lost last year, it left a lot of holes. We had some guys that were 2- and 3-year contributors that you can't just replace. And fortunately for us, going into this season, we thought we had some guys that could slide in those spots, and they've actually done better than what my expectations were. I was being a little bit hard on them, thinking that because you're a sophomore or because you're a junior with limited playing time that it may be a hindrance. But these guys put in the work in the off season, and we're seeing the results right now. We still had some growing pains. There's still some things that players are having to learn, and I would rather make those mistakes now than region time. But I think it's going to bode well for us, especially with the leadership we've got with people like Matt and the rest of the seniors pulling those guys on. Hopefully, we're talking some good things in May.
Yeah. I mean, losing all those guys, you seniors kind of had to step up, but like I said, those younger kids have really, a lot of them have really stepped up and played big roles.
Yeah, a lot of them, like our outfield, brand new outfield. You got Parker, Gunner, and Keith out there, and I thought they've done a dang good job. They've hit the ball much better than I expected. They played the D like they did last year. So, to me, I see a long run in the region.
Yeah. You guys are hitting 382 as a team right now. You have 10 guys with 10 or more hits, so it's the offense has been pretty good despite not playing at home and being on the road all the time. So, kind of what's been the key offensively there?
Well, we have really good leadoff. Keith, I think Keith has been outstanding at the leadoff spot. So him just getting up, how many leadoff doubles does he have? 5.
And a home run. He has a home run too.
Yeah.
And a home run in Florida. Yeah.
That just jump starts our offense, and then our 2 through 5 is just mashing the baseball right now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you got this guy over here at 555, Hayden Robbins at 488, Bradley Pointer at 458, Matthew Bulldog Bryan there at 450. So you got 4 guys hitting over 450 right now.
Yeah, and the thing is, with our stats, it's the player that's been keeping the game changer. He scores about like the Wrigley Field guy. He's very, very hard.
Not generous at all, huh?
Not whatsoever, because I've gone back to him a couple times. I said, hey, you know that was a true hit, don't you? And he's actually changed it. But the numbers that you see right there, these are not bloop balls. These are hard hit line drives. These are balls in the gap that they're no doubters. You can't fudge a number like that. And again, Keith getting on allows those guys to do what they do.
Yeah, 5 homers as a team. I think Bulldog has 2 of them. You have 1 of them. What was the longest one this year so far? Who hit the longest one?
Bull's second one, At Great Crossing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. Me and Bradley got lucky, to say the least. Withers wasn't even there to see that one.
No, I was sick that day, and I think the wind was blowing about 60 miles per hour out to right field, and both of them wind-aided home runs. You know, it goes down in the book as a home run, but got to put an asterisk on there somewhere.
We give it to him. It's okay.
That's all right.
We'll be generous on that. Okay, and I'm just going through some of these stats, and I was just amazed. 416 at bats, just 63 strikeouts for you guys.
Yeah, that's one thing that we preach with our offensive approach. When I get these guys in the fall, you know, and Matt knows this, Hayden knows this, the other seniors, they know what we try to do with 2 strikes. The challenge has been with the young guys that with 2 strikes, you know, we're doing something totally different than we do with what we call a damage count, you know, with a 1-0 count, 2-0 count, 3-1. We adjust with the count. And these guys, I mean, we have drills that literally they'll get in there and they foul the ball off. That's all they're doing. They're trying to let the ball get as deep as possible. They foul it off just to prove to them that, A, you can do it, B, it will carry over to the game. And another thing that we do is when I will post our quality at bat chart at the beginning of every week, I put on there, and some people this is an eye opener, but I put how many strikeouts a player has, how many walks a player has, and how many hit by pitch. And then we do the team average, and we combine hit by pitch and walks, and we always want to be greater than the strikeouts because we consider those freebies. And if you're going to walk us, if you're going to hit us, we're going to get on base and do damage to you. And these guys have, again, it's a testament to going back to 18, 19, you have your COVID year, last year's group and this year's group. These guys, they know what we're trying to do. It's not, I'm going to do my thing. I'm not going to be my own personal self. It becomes a team approach, and that's why, again, I think these numbers are what they are.
Yeah, Bradley Pointer's already knocked in 25 runs on the season.
I'll take it. Let's get 25 more.
14 games. Switching over to the pitching side of it, you guys have a 2.73 ERA as a team. This guy over here has a 0 ERA. We'll talk about that in a minute. But, I mean, you guys wins by, I think, 6 different players. There's some depth there, and, of course, guys like Matt are younger, but are older, but there are some younger ones too who stepped in there and played really well too.
Yes. Again, I think with what Coach Roof, what he implements, and we have a new pitching coach this year, Coach Bowling. He's a North Laurel graduate. He understands what Coach Roof wants, and he's trying to relay that to the guys. You know, about we're going to pound the strike zone. There's no need to nitpick. We're not trying to get you to chase or be delicate up there. And you know, Matt, Bradley, and John, they've all got some positive games under their belt. And then I will say this, that the game that we lost down there, Dylan Hatfield threw 4 innings of one hit. Our bullpen had a rough game, which is going to happen. But, you know, we get that guy back, and if we can get him rolling, now you're talking about 4 guys at the top, and then we've got our younger guys that can kind of fill in. So that bodes so well for where we can go as a program.
Yeah, Matt, 3-0, 0 ERA. Bradley Pointer 2-0, 1.8 ERA, and then John Gerard 2-1, 1.06 ERA. The only loss there was the Sayer game.
Yep.
So that's a pretty good top 3 right there.
I'm telling you, it was disappointing last year when we walked off the field, you know, because your immediate thought is not tomorrow, not next year. You're thinking about what this team could have done. Regional final, I think, you know, with a different draw, quite possibly with the arms we had, maybe it ends up a little bit differently. But to see what these guys have done at the top in terms of pitching, wow, it's the work they put in this winter is really showing. It's really showing, and again, we're going to ride these guys as long as we can.
Yeah. Well, Matt, 13 2/3 innings, 10 hits, no runs, no earned runs at least, 14 strikeouts. You're obviously a dual guy too, playing in the infield. So kind of, how do you prepare differently on days you know you're going to pitch as opposed to days you're going to play the infield?
Well, normally if I know I'm throwing that day, well, at this point I don't know when I'm throwing, when I'm not, because I don't know if I'm starting or a reliever yet. So I don't really make as many throws across the infield. Like if we're taking like in the infield pregame, I don't really throw very hard across if I have a chance to play. But if I know I'm playing, I'm like, all right, let me get my arm good and familiar with the throw. But I mean, there's really no difference between my warm-ups. I get probably a little bit better. I get a little bit longer long toss in whenever I'm throwing.
Okay, well, kind of walk us through here. Show us what you throw and kind of how the grips you different. Is that okay? We're not giving anything away, are we?
No, not at all.
No secrets? Okay.
Not at all.
You have three, 4 pitches, or how many pitches do you usually rotate in?
I throw 5.
Okay.
So I got my 4-seam. It's literally just the C, and I just throw it off the fingertips. And my 2-seam, me and Bradley go back and forth with this. He puts his here, and I put mine in the middle just to get more run to it. And then my slider, you take my 2-seam and move it just off of the seams, and I just pull down like that. And then my curveball, I just throw everything from this seam, if you can't tell. It's just that spike curve, and then get it over, and then my changeup is. Actually, this is what Coach Bowling taught me in one of my random bullpens this winter, and it's just this, and I just try and get on top of it and let it run down.
A circle on the side?
Yeah.
Circle, change?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, that's
My hands were big. If my hands were bigger than Bradley's, I could throw a true circle.
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys also have wins from Sam Coleman, Elijah Metcalf, Daniel Bauer. So there's lots of good guys there.
Oh yeah. Again, depth, because it really surprised the Florida coach when we were playing. He asked how many games we had, and I said, well, we scheduled 36 regular season games, and his eyes got really big. And I'm pretty sure he said 24, 25 in Florida, and he said, we can only count so many against Kentucky teams. And he said that factors into that number. He was really shocked at how many games we play, and that's one thing I told him. I said, well, with 36 regular season games, we can't just have 3 pitchers. We have to have 3 plus 3 plus 3, so you're talking 9 to 10 guys. And you mentioned some of the boys that we've run out there that, again, they're going to get their opportunity. With a week with no rain, you're talking 4 to 5 games, and everybody's going to get a shot.
Yeah, and some of those younger guys have had some rough times. You guys blew leads against Scott County and Great Crossing.
Yes,
but I mean, you're going to play 40-something games. It's it's gonna happen. It's
inevitable that you throw a sophomore or a freshman out there, and they're cruising along, but then they hit a guy or they walk a guy or a guy gets a hit. Now adversity is staring them in the face. How do they handle that? So again, I think these guys will benefit this year from it, but where you'll really see the growth is next year when we hand the ball to them and say, hey, you've been in this situation. This time last year you were in this situation with bases loaded or, behind by 1 run and you've got to hold them right here. So that the way Coach Roof lines that up with the pitching, giving everybody a shot, because we could ride these guys as long as we could, but then you don't develop for the future.
Yeah. That is true. Well, you guys, your class, your senior class, obviously lost your sophomore year. And then to be put in this situation this year where hopefully you will have a few home games. We'll talk about that in a minute. But hopefully you will have some home games coming up later in the season. But not to have a home field, it seems like another blow to you guys, man. It seems like you guys have been dealt a pretty raw deal here the last couple of years.
Yeah. Well, losing our sophomore year really hurt because I think we had a really special team. I tell Dad all the time that team was going to beat the 93 team, which happened to have my dad on it. So I'll give them both crap for it. But no, missing our sophomore year and then coming out with our junior year, we had that loaded senior class. So they really prepared us for this, and so they showed us what leaders need to be so that we can be leaders for the younger guys. And like I tell Eli Metcalf and Sam all the time, I'm like, dude, I got thrown in against Trinity last year. I was like, I was scared to death. That's the best team that I've ever faced, and I mean, it prepared me for the region championship and this season. Like, I just have seen so much growth. I try to preach that to the young guys.
Yeah, and just the road warriors, man. Just road game after road game, kind of. Well, I mean, everybody, Central, Southern, softball, baseball, at both schools are all in the same situation, but it kind of stings for everybody. But it does sting. I'm
getting sick and tired of that bus. I told Johnny, I said, listen, you're a great dude, but if I have to see you one more time, I'm gonna be a little upset.
Well, there is some good news on there, friend. When I was talking to you earlier, you're hoping that maybe next week you guys can have maybe at least one home game. You have St. X coming in next Monday, not this Monday, but next Monday.
That is correct.
And you're hoping to have a home game then.
Yes. Actually, if I'm thinking correctly, JV is at home tomorrow.
Okay.
Then we're on the road on Tuesday. The rest of the week we're on the road. But as you said, the following Monday, St. X is supposed to come to our place.
And Tuesday.
And we have a game Tuesday?
Dunbar.
Hard for me to think that far ahead.
I just looked at the home game.
That's a positive because if anything, these kids, and I appreciate everything the board's done in terms of, making these facilities great, between Frankfurt, weather, other delays.
Yeah, it was just a real collection of stuff. It wasn't anybody's fault.
No, a perfect
Not
storm
one person's fault.
of just, causing this not to get done in time because I know Dr. Gillum, I've spoken to him personally, and he said, I want these kids to have a good facility. And so by the dugouts and the buildings for storage, that's what he's holding true to his count. But, nobody, as you say, can help with the delays that have happened. But if those kids can get on their field, because it is their field, next Monday, that will be a huge sigh of relief. And the fact that I can get in bed at a decent hour.
That's a big one.
Yeah. And you guys were supposed to host the region. Is that still a possibility?
Coach Roof has talked about, I believe it has been moved. Okay. I'm not 100% positive on that, but I'm pretty sure they've gone ahead just, again, because of facilities and not wanting to host it on there. So if that happens, I think we would have it at our place next year.
Yeah.
I think it's at Great Crossing now.
I believe you're correct.
Okay. Well, you guys are back on the road Tuesday at Tates Creek and then Friday down at South Laurel and then Saturday, where are you at Saturday?
We're at Montgomery County.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, appreciate you guys coming in.
Oh, absolutely.
Sorry you had to come back to snow. You'd probably much rather be back. Even a bad day on the golf course in 70-degree weather is better than snow, right?
Oh, every day. I would rather be on that golf course shooting 130s.
130. So we're not going to, Kyle Congleton's not going to get you on the golf team.
No.
You're not that good.
I'm not going to reclass and play golf. No. I'm not going to be Bryson.
He could reclassify and have another year with him.
We can see if we can find some paperwork somewhere. We'll get him another year. I would definitely take him.
Well, he's probably going to be another one that you'll send off to college because you've sent off so many of them to college over the years. I've lost track at this point. I know Steve has it on the website, and that's the best way to do it is just go back and look and see. So
I know, and it's look. I love every one of my boys that have played for me, but I don't always remember what school they went to. But I know that they went. I know that that one's in Illinois somewhere. And I'll have to ask the players, oh, he's at this college, coach. But I know they're gone. I've got their phone number, and I do keep in touch with them, and just to make sure they're doing okay in their transition from high school to college.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll have you guys. Maybe we can get Roof next time. Roof is notoriously camera shy.
We've got to get him out.
Very much camera shy.
Got to get him out.
So, all right. Well, good luck to you guys the rest of the way. Hopefully, we'll have next Monday. If you're there, we'll be there. So
that sounds great.
I miss those days over there. Remember the old? I was talking to somebody the other night about the old days before they took out the sewage treatment plant and those warm spring afternoons over there. Ooh. You was long before.
I don't want to know.
You were long before that. There were times it about knock you down. The smell would really knock you down.
I'd rather there had been a 24/7 paper mill down there than that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, as those were, the facilities have come a long way since then. When this gets done, it's going to be beautiful.
Yes, it will.
So it'll all be worth it. So, all right. Well, hey, I was going to one more thing. We have the Madison County Sports Hall of Fame thing coming up. Mm-hmm. Don Richardson's going in, obviously, posthumously. Do you have a Don Richardson story we haven't heard yet? Off the top of your head?
I've got a lot of stories.
This is on YouTube, but we can do PG version if you want.
Well, it was real.
No cursing.
Well, this is one of my sophomore year. We go to Florida, and we're rated, top 10 in the state. And I was playing, fortunate on that team. I was playing outfield, and I would hit or I would be DH for. But the fact that I was on the field as a sophomore on that team was just mind-blowing to me. And so we're playing at Coco Expo. It's a night game, and we're playing a team from New York that had a lot of Puerto Ricans on there. They were speaking Spanish to each other, and for a boy from Kentucky in 1991 hearing Spanish, it was an eye-opener. And the pitcher, I'm pretty sure he's Mariano Rivera's relative. I mean,
looked just like
him. And so we've got a guy on first base. There's one out. It's the top of the 7th inning, and I'm batting in the 9-hole. And
have you heard this story before?
No, I haven't.
Hasn't heard this story. So Coach Richardson, as I'm walking up to bat, he tells me, he said, listen, if you get on, we got the top of the lineup coming up. He said, just put a ball in play, we'll be fine. And the one asset that I really had, I was fast. And, the guy, a couple pitches, he runs one in over the middle of the plate, and I hit like a 2-hopper right to the shortstop. It was absolutely scorched. He fields it, he flips it to second, and I'm probably out by 2 steps. And, I felt good because I made good contact. It was just right at the guy. And as I'm coming across the field, I wanted to get the lineup rolled over. He looks at me and he said, when I told you to put the ball in play, I didn't mean a double play. And, I'm just shoulder shrugged. I'm like, okay. So, no, I love Coach. He motivated players in different ways. Yes, he would get on to you. He would verbally undress you sometimes. But he was doing that because he knew what buttons to push. He knew there were certain kids that, if he said that to, they would crawl under the bench. He knew there was also kids that if he pushed them too far, they would fight him. And he was a master psychologist of what he could say and what he could do to get you motivated before a game. So I've got a lot more. I know when some of the old guys, Tommy Gross, myself, we get together, we share them.
We can just do a round table one night. Just come in here and sit around and talk about it.
It would be a fun one.
Matt's like, these old guys, just think about the old glory days. When you get old, that's all you got left, man. These are glory days. So.
I'm sure we'll have a bunch of stories about Roof when we get older. I know we will, actually.
You probably already have some good ones now.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Once again, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Coming back to this cold weather up here in Kentucky, but, it is what it is, right?
It'll turn some point. It'll be here.
You've done this long enough that spring sports in Kentucky, you have no idea what the weather's going to be like from one day to the next.
No. Any advice to a young coach that's up and coming, always pack your thermals, sleeves, but be prepared for it to be warm in some capacity. I mean, because you could have a 40-degree to a 70-degree day, a couple of, 48 hours.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for coming in, Matt. Keep up the good work. 5.55 batting average there.
If that keeps up, that's just something else.
Well, that'd be great. And, so like I said, Tuesday, we're at Tate's Creek. That'll be a big 11th region matchup, and another one of those early season matchups to kind of see where you stand.
That's right.
All right. Well, I'll wrap up this week's edition of the Richmond Register Sports Show. As always, the best place to keep up with all the sports here in Madison County is on Twitter at Richmond R Sports and on Facebook at Register Sports. We'll be back next week with a new episode. See you.
The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by Metronet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Central Kentucky Pressure Washing, Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote. And by MEL'S BARBER SHOP, established 2019. Walk-ins welcome. Visit them 102 St. George Street in Richmond. And by kymedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms. Thanks for watching the Richmond Register Sports Show. For more information about all things sports in Madison County, log on to richmondregister.com or on Twitter. And like us, Register Sports on Facebook. Get the Richmond Register directly to your mailbox or get the app online and visit richmondregister.com.
This is Richmond.
This is Berea.
This is Waco.
This is Kirksville.
This is Doylesville.
This is Boonesboro.
And this is Bybee.
This is Valley View.
This is Baldwin.
This is Union City.
All of this is Madison County.
You know us as covering your news and sports.
And now, we're more.
We're your news
and sports authority.
The Richmond Register since 1917.
Download our news app and get news anytime, any hour.
Subscribe now to get your local news in your mailbox or electronically anywhere.
The Richmond Register, your news and sports authority.
We're more than words.
We're more than words.
We're more than words.
We're more than words.
Yeah, we cover that.
Yeah, we cover that.
Yeah, we cover that.
Download the Richmond Register News app on your favorite device or Sign up and subscribe online at richmondregister.com.